Hello friends, the preliminary preparation you would have started for Prelims 2024. So I had updated in the group a few points which are necessary for students to keep in mind while they are preparing for Prelims. In that, many of the doubts students have asked, so I thought of clarifying on that a little bit so that you can move forward for your preparation without any fear or some doubts. In that first thing which I said in the group, so in the Minds of Aspirant groups, I have put that some necessary things to keep in mind before entering the prelims hall. The first point that I have put is that tricks will not work inside the examination hall. See, this I have been saying for a very long time that you can, think about tricks for solution for maybe 2-3 questions. See, there are 100 questions in the UPSC examination paper. What students think is that we will be able to, clear this examination with the help of tricks. No, that's not possible. See, you may get some 2-3 questions as an edge. That is, to increase your scores, you can have an edge over, the question paper for 2-3 questions. But rest of the questions, let us assume that 5 questions. 95 questions are there which are based on understanding and which are based on your deep knowledge about the subject. If you are not going into each of the topics and understanding each of the topics, this is going to create a lot of problem inside the hall. What students assume is that the tricks will actually work inside the hall. If you very closely watch inside the hall 2 hours, even for questions which you are very sure, you will not be able to mark the correct answer, immediately. It will take time for, to take some breath, and you have to mark it after some time only. So what will happen to questions which are, solved using these tricks? Do you really think that you would understand that these tricks which have been, you are going through each of the tricks and you will be able to solve and confirm it? This is the point I'm saying. See, at the end of the day, confirmation for a particular topic has to come from your understanding. It does not come from your, whatever tricks that you may have seen. At the last moment, your understanding is what will make you mark that question correctly in the OMR sheet. So first point is that. The second point which I have put is that current affairs notes, see, this current affairs notes, it keeps on coming. Students have, one student asked me this doubt of, if current affairs I should not study and I read newspaper, how would I match, current affairs, so I don't have any notes or something like that? Then when I go to the interview hall, how would I, make sense of all the current affairs topics before going into the hall? How do I revise or stuff like that? See, closely think about this examination for a second. See, if you see the, you can check the preliminary examination syllabus which is given. Just go and check that syllabus. There are 6 to 7 to 8 heads are given. History, polity, many things, Panchayat Raj, many things are given. In that, current events pertaining to national and international is one. If an examination is being conducted, look at the way a question paper will be taken. The question paper will allocate as much as possible for each of the topics which have been listed in the syllabus. The syllabus is given purposefully for that category only. And you go and check the question paper which has been asked, how many current affairs topics that they are asking. But we spend our majority time, see, for 100, let us assume that 100 questions are there and you have to spend one hour for each question. That means you spend 80 to 90% or 80 to 90 hours in finishing all the necessary ingredients that are there in this examination. 10 hours you have to spend for this current affairs because that is the one tab that they have given. But instead, what we do is that we spend 90 hours on these materials. 10 hours on, polity or geography. See, if you like polity, you would read polity, but people skip history, geography, environment, or whatever topics which are there. This examination cannot be cleared by what you like as a subject and what you do as a, as current affairs. This is an examination where you have to have an overall understanding. That is where, that is where the question of, so again, this 100 hours is there, 90 hours you spend for the necessary portions, 10 hours you spend for current affairs. Again, the question comes is that, should I go for current affairs notes? This is where I said that read newspaper. You think about this examination in a rational way. See, I don't say that you take everything that I'm actually saying in this video. You think about yourself. An examination which is predominantly 90% is there in your basic understanding. See, what is a fundamental rights, what is a fundamental duty, so what is this temperate cyclone, tropical cyclone. These are stuff which are relevant to your understanding is what they are checking. The 10%, if you see, they are checking in that also, they don't check, for example, they don't check the fact that whether you are able to retain information. This retaining of information was an ritual long before. This was the age of, before social media, before any other thing. This retention of information was very key. See, I remember when I came to civil services in 2010, people used to read this Reader's Digest, or they used to mug up all the capitals of the world and stuff like that. I don't think in the past 10, 12 years, they have, even went to this extent of asking the capital of some state or something like that. See, or some personality or anything. They are not going for general knowledge question. They are thinking about general studies. That is why they have changed the syllabus from general knowledge to general studies. In a sense, if the terminology may, look similar, but the change in the perception is that how you have understood something, whether current event and national and international something which is relevant, how well you have understood it. That is what they check in this examination. One example is that, see, I think this Aditya L1, they have placed it in the Lagrange some L1 or something like that. Definitely this time there might be a question. So that is current affairs only. There might be a question. Again, no prediction. There might be a question. You can check that question. That question is not going to ask when was it done, what was it done, what was the weight of that, what is the thing of that. See, nothing of that sort will be there. They will go for your understanding. Why L1, L2? What is that importance? What is the significance? They will connect it to, Einstein's theory of relativity, or, what is gravity? Something related to science, scientific principle behind that. Or what is the significance of that? If you very closely watch in group 1, see, when I have written group 1, I have, attended questions like, when was this particular cyclone, attacked Tamil Nadu or something like that? They gave 4 dates, 4 or 5 options, means 5 options. All were August 15 or September 15. See, this is group 1 question. UPSC does not ask questions like that. They are not thinking about your general knowledge. They are thinking about your general understanding. Now come to this question of the students asking this question, whether, whether I will be able to remember the topics which I read very long ago, or how am I going to revise everything? So 2-3 months backlog, how am I going to revise everything means? See, this L1 Aditya was, I think, last month or something like that. This may be asked in the preliminary examination. But if you very closely watch, L1, if you have understood, in the newspaper article, in the Minds of Aspirant, if you very closely watch the group that I am, sharing the newspaper articles, for L1, I think 6 to 10 articles are shared. 6 to 10 editorials, many things related to science and what is the philosophy or the principle behind L1, and everything was in the newspaper in the recent times, both Hindu and Indian Express. The point is that if I have understood it, not learnt it. Learning is different, understanding is different. What Einstein says is that everyone can learn, but it takes effort to understand. The problem is that we learn things, we don't understand things. If you have understood it, and they go for a question on L1, May 26, I think, is the preliminary examination. Even if you don't revise that, think about a scenario. You go into the hall, they ask about L1 and this Lagrange, Aditya, something they ask you. Even if you don't revise and go inside the hall, you will be able to mark that question correct. This is the point what I am trying to explain. The questions that are going to be asked in preliminary examination are going to be based on your understanding. And that understanding does not come by mugging up some facts from some notes or something like that. It's going to come whether you have understood it. And for that, newspaper, nothing more than newspaper is essential for understanding. I think once a student asked about S200. This was asked in the mains. S200 or some rocket launcher about Russia. We got it from Russia. This was 2 years ago. We got it from Russia. So he was asking this question of, you are saying that read newspaper. So how am I going to answer a question like that? See, S200 was a debatable editorial material for a very long time in the newspaper. When the deal was being signed by India and Russia, see, India and Russia are strategic partners. And when that was being signed, it was also thought about with the help of many other features of S200. And while reading the newspaper itself, today you will know that Hamas and all these issues are happening. And now you will learn what is that dome. Israel has this dome where there is a surface to air missiles which actually controls the whole thing. Not controls, prevents the rockets launched from Hamas or the other side, from the Gaza and the other side. So they have this dome, but how it got intelligence failure, what happened, that is what you are seeing as a war today. But what I am trying to say is that the understanding that I have about the dome, S200, and the India-Russia strategic partnership, India, West geopolitics, India, Russia, China geopolitics, this is what is the answer for S200. They have asked specifics about S200. But if you keep thinking about the specific thing, you will let go of the rest of the 80 questions which are there in GS and also your option. What I am trying to say to you is that instead of finding a pin in a huge mound of heap of current affairs, you are just finding a one pin. How are you going to find that? Instead, what I am trying to say is that build a mountain yourself. See, reading paper is building a mountain. Current affairs is finding a one pin in a huge mountain. Why are you doing this work? Instead, you can slowly build a mountain. From the mountain, you can write this examination so well. This is the point that I am trying to make. Instead, what we think is that we'll be able to use some material. This is what I want you to think about very clearly. See, this video is not about choosing something which I really like. I am just telling you what is necessary for this examination. And many students, one more student said that, see, I have a friend, they would have cleared mains or something like that, or not mains, they would have cleared prelims and they did not read newspaper. See, very closely watch this. There are two things in life. This is how we take decisions. Or this is how we evaluate our social world. One is called as, this in class several times I've repeated, one is called as correlation, another is called as causation. What we usually say is correlation. You might have seen that very simple example is that a cat crosses your leg and you say that something as bad has happened because of the cat. That is correlation. You don't see what is the cause of the real event, what was the bad thing that happened to you and why it happened. We just correlate. Or horoscope. Think about it, some planet somewhere. See, I think now we are sending Aditya L1 to monitor the sun. But we still believe in horoscope, right? Horoscope is correlation. Some planet, somebody says something and you think that it's going to affect you. No. it's basic science, right? When you think about the causation, you will actually think about how this has been done. So why I wanted to say this was, somebody, did not read newspaper, cleared this examination. That's correlation. That's not causation. That is not the cause of how they cleared. What was their marks? What was their cutoff? What were the other subjects they did? So many things are there. So many factors are there. And see, this is a word which I give, and it can be disputed. Again, that is the point. I am saying a methodology, a causation, a route through which you can clear this examination. I am not saying something which I did. So this is how I did clear this examination. You also do this. I'm not saying that. I am giving you a pathway. The way to clearing this examination is through your understanding. I will repeat it again. If you are not able to understand a concept, sit down and understand that. If you are not able to understand Aditya, sit down and understand that. Don't look for shortcuts. Don't look for somebody, somebody over the internet, or somebody over the, something to give you the understanding of that. That is not going to help you in the long run. This examination is about you understanding things. This examination is not about you being a mere passive recipient of all these facts dumped on you. Einstein once said this. See, Einstein, there was a time when Edison actually said that, Einstein does not know any facts or stuff like that. And this was a time when Einstein had, from Europe, he had come to USA for some work or something like that, and then he settled down. But Einstein gave this reply that, this place is not to dump all the facts. This place is to create something new, You also think about it. This place is not for you to dump all the current affairs. 100 current affairs, in that one comes. Is that an achievement? You think about it. You can instead read newspapers, slowly you can build. And for the question of whether you have to, go for, one more question was, for the past 2 months, I have not read current affairs or something like that. Start from today. There is nothing called as current affairs. In civil services, there is called as something called as understanding. There is called as syllabus. There is called as things which you read. There is no past current affairs. There is no present current affairs. There is no future current affairs. There are things to read for you to understand and write this examination. Think about this examination for that sake, not for the sake of somebody, giving you something and you merely correlating stuff. Think about the causation. The causation to clear this examination is to think. Thinking is what has made us humans, Please do think again. This is my humble submission. You can ask many other doubts in the group. The Minds of Aspirant groups is there. So in the Telegram group, you can, put down your doubts. I'll be very happy to, clarify all your doubts. Keep reading. All the best. Thank you.